Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Seth, and I am coming up on my 1 month on testosterone, and I will make another video talking about changes. Mostly, it's been more emotional compared to the physical things that were happening in the first couple of weeks. But I just wanted to talk about one instance that just happened earlier today. That I found to be very interesting and that I was always curious about before I started testosterone. So, this has to do with going on dates or even just getting to know new people as friends without them knowing that you're trans. And this is my first official experience with that. So, everybody on my college campus really knows that I am, you know, transitioning or knew me last year, or just knows that I'm a masculine person overall, and whether or not they really know the details of it. Most people know my new name, my chosen name, and refer to me as that, and with male pronouns. And a couple people, from last year, still slip up sometimes, but it's okay. It's going really well. As far as a college campus and acquaintances goes, it's going pretty well. So I met a new person who recently just came to this campus and didn't know anybody, and it's just really awesome. We talked for a little bit out at a party or social gathering on the weekend, and I really just wanted to kind of get to know this person a little better, and also was kind of attracted to this person because I think they're really cute. But wasn't gonna, actually state that until I hung out with them, and got to know them a little bit, and yeah. So I went on a coffee get together date thing, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much, it was just us hanging out. And found out that this girl, who's very nice, thought that I was gay. Um, and by gay, I mean like thought that I was a biological male interested in men, and mostly because of the fact that um, I guess there were undertones of things that weren't completely masculine, and the only thing that she could turn to categorize that would to say that that in her own head, that think that I was gay. Um, and she was she wasn't shocked or taken that far aback that I was transgender. It kind of just really came up in conversation. And it did kind of suck having to quote unquote come out, but it was also very interesting because then I got to kind of ask well, what did you think? And um, the response that I got from her was that she had absolutely no idea visually, and that she just thought that I was gay, which made the whole attraction thing kind of funny and a big joke. To me, because then I was just kind of all right, let's be friends then, because obviously you didn't agree to hang out for the same reasons that maybe I thought were possible. But I mean, that's how life works, and it was just really funny. It was a really good experience to finally have to come out to somebody in a situation like that. You're new. You haven't met them before, really, other than a couple conversations where you thought you could communicate cool with them, and all of a sudden, in conversation as you're chatting, you decide to tell them that you're transgender because that's something that you want them to know about your past, whether or not it's because you're actually interested or not. And that's kind of what's interesting, is when do you tell? That's the big question, is do you tell when you're in bed with the person? Do you tell, and if they're just going to be your friend, when do you tell them as a friend, or do you not tell them? Do you just live a stealth life? And in this situation, I mean, it was just kind of I was going to say it. And it was good because I think it just we talked about it. We talked about my relationship with my parents, and we talked about whether or not beforehand I felt I was a lesbian, and how comfortable I am now, and how the campus is dealing with it. And what's funny about it is just that fear that I had of people thinking that my effeminate actions were gonna make me gay was kind of true in this situation, and yet yeah, I just never would have guessed that. I feel like a lot of my close friends, their advice has been, whenever I've brought that up, a fear of being read as homosexual because I'm somewhat effeminate as a male, they've just been no, you're so masculine, you just seem to kind of flirt with girls, and it's just like obvious that you um, aren't gay in that same way. Not that you can really pick up on it with some people, but that like you could tell that I wasn't. And I was like, okay, cool, I feel better now. And then this situation happened. And it's kind of funny. I mean, it's like that was the fear I had, was that girls wouldn't be able to, like, when my identity isn't as upfront, like the fact that my body is a little bit different at the moment because I haven't had surgery or anything, and I'm just starting to change, about a 1 month on testosterone. Um, what was I saying? Oh, just that, like, yeah, like I'm not gonna be able. Well, my worry, and this may not be true. I mean, it depends on the person. You know, if I'm, yeah, the person that, you know, I may not be able to connect with girls in the same way that I used to when I was like known on campus as like a masculine person with a female body or whatnot, and like people knew that I was a girl, so they connected with me more, and they were willing to like open up. And by people I mean girls, and like there wasn't that like sexual barrier there because I was a different gender, and therefore people are a little more like holding back or whatever. And that really just depends on the person, whether or not they really act differently with different genders. I don't know, but I tend to think that there's a little more like expectation and like whatever with speaking to a male as a female, and like discourse and the way that you communicate with males that you're just meeting versus females that you're meeting. Um, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, I get how I can be read as gay because if my communication style really reads in a feminine way, like that's that. But the funny thing is my sexuality, like I've always dated straight women, and like they have been attracted by masculinity, so they haven't really questioned their own sexuality, and they've gone back to dating men. And it's just like an interesting situation that actually getting those same girls to like me in the same way is going to be a little bit different now because in the context of social interaction, like I am a male. Um, and apparently I'm passing, and she was actually quite complimentary about how much I'm passing. So yeah, cheers to 1 month on T and fun things happening. The voice has dropped a little bit more, and I guess I could say that my chest is a little less, like, the muscle is a little less dense, and it's easier to bind. I am having this really weird, painful leg pain, and that's the only quote-unquote side effect that I would really say is happening. I'm having, like, my shin muscles, like, if you have ever had shin splints, like when you're working out and your shins kind of tighten up and cramp a little bit, and it feels, like, painful, and it's hard to run because your leg's so tight and cramped up. I get that when I'm walking to places that I used to just walk, like short distances, but like if I'm walking really fast, like I'm late to class, I'm getting these horrible leg cramps in my shins, and I got it when I was working out the other day, and I had to just get off the treadmill, and I've kind of heard about it before. My friends keep asking me, well, do you think it's the testosterone and like your muscles are changing, and like that's obviously making them a little bit stressed, and your legs are just reacting, and I don't know. I mean, it's a weird symptom, and it didn't happen until I started testosterone, so I want to almost attribute it to that, but there's no factual evidence. But it really hurts, and I don't know if anyone else has gone through this. I did contact somebody else on YouTube who had this a couple months on testosterone, and his advice was just to, like, eat more bananas and drink some water more regularly, so, I mean, I'm going to try and do that, but it sucks. And hopefully it goes away. Growing pains. I mean, literally it's second puberty, so I expect that kind of stuff. Other than that, things are going so well. I mean, I'm just a happier person overall. I have this like new fun energy, and I love having that extra energy. I do nap like crazy though. It's like contradictory, but you know, I'm eating a lot more and whatever. I just need to make sure that I keep this up. I really appreciate like all the support I have from friends and people. And so I just feel comfortable now. It's like a huge weight is off my back, and I don't really take the time to notice how much less stressed I am, and it's great. I just have to keep up with my schoolwork and stuff like that, because I'm kind of right now being like, I really want to focus on my social life, and, you know, like any good college student, I shouldn't do that too much. So, yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I should be having like a little 1 month on T birthday party soon. And it's a surprise party kind of thrown by my friends with a little bit of my own input. So we'll see if they surprise me with that sometime. But yeah, just checking in. And I hope everybody's doing well.